In today's video, we're taking a look at some of the coolest cards from the Sun and Moon and XY era. Some of these are up over 100% recently, and I guarantee you there's a few cards on this list that you probably haven't seen or heard of before. Let's just jump straight into it because these are some really cool cards that I think deserve some attention. And we're starting off with the Pikachu and Zekrom. Now, this is a promo from the Sun and Moon era. So if you're newer to collecting, that's why a lot of these cards you may have missed out if you weren't collecting back during the Sun and Moon or X and Y era. And this is an absolutely stunning promo that recently has shot up quite a bit. You can see on the chart right here. Over 100%, 102% just in the past 3 months alone. 3 months ago, this was a $50 promo, and now we're seeing just over 100. Very cool. I do like this one a lot. With the little Pikachu on the giant Zekrom, just art-wise looks super cool. Obviously, you got the yellow corners and stuff. It's a very stylistic card of the era from this Sun and Moon. And yeah, so shooting up pretty big recently. You can see there was a lot of sales between February 10th and 12th, probably driving a lot of the attention back towards this card. If we zoom out on the 1 year, you can see this card's up pretty massive, 364%. This was a $20 promo, $20 to $30 promo a year ago. Absolutely massive growth on this card. And, I think it's a little bit deservedly so because I think this is an absolutely stunning card. Then we gotta hop over to this is XY Phantom Forces. Now this one's not up as big, but this is a Gengar card that I do like a lot. And this one has shot up quite a bit. This isn't one that really pops up a ton. You can see we're currently at $327. So a very expensive Gengar card. And there's a few Gengar cards from this set that are kind of moving right now. But this one's up, 30%, over 30 in the past 3 months. And you can see there's only 10 copies currently listed on TCG Player. Lowest listed right now looks like is at 300 and 313 are the lowest listings, which would be a little bit below the current market price, but above the most recent sales. Now this one, if we zoom out, you can see is up 90%. Now this one was declining a little bit for a while. Back here in April, 171, and it was kind of falling all the way down to around in the 140s before recent shoot up, obviously. So 140 to over 300 is pretty massive gain. So a nice looking Gengar card. Not my favorite Gengar card on this list, though. There is one that speaks to me a bit more. We'll get to that one coming up shortly. But then we have this Mewtwo card. So this is from XY Breakthrough. Now, this little scan that they have here on TCG Player is not the best quality for this card, but something about this card with the gold borders, this is just another stunning card from the era, I think. And this one's up 47% in the past 3 months alone, going from 53 all the way up to $78. Another one that has like low supply. There's only 7 copies currently listed on TCG. You can see a big spike in sales here happening back in January, actually, is when most of the sales happened. 9 sales there. So it's not a card that sells a lot, not a card that moves a ton, but some massive growth. This is a really nice looking card. I do like this one a lot. And then if we zoom out, you can see this one was on the decline a little bit as well, going from just under 50, it dropped all the way down to 40 back in July. And then it was slowly climbing back up into the 50s. And then, this year, January, it started to see some pretty massive growth. So another nice Mewtwo card that you may not be familiar with. And then we do have to talk about some megas that are getting some attention. We are going to see the return of megas. That is something coming in the new game, in the new TCG. Obviously, they trademarked, megas coming back. So we know official confirmation that megas are coming back. We've known this for a while now, right? But Mega Gengar from Phantom Forces. You can see another spike in sales. Now, this was March 8th through 10th. It was only 6 cards being sold in this time, but this is another one that doesn't really sell a ton, but this helped shoot the card up. It's up 53% just in the past 3 months alone, going from $56 up to $86. And if we zoom out right here, it's up 171% on the year. A year ago, this was a $30 card. I really like these mega cards with the text flying across the screen. The only reason I kind of don't particularly like this one of this Gengar is just he's just kind of small, right? It's just like this little section right here. And it just doesn't do it for me personally. I just think it's just too small. If you're going to have a mega Pokemon, he needs to be bigger or just a little bit more pronounced on the card. Like Mega Gengar, but he's tiny. So That's probably my only complaint with this card, but I do think it's cool. I I do like this card. It's just not the one that calls to me. We're almost to the one that really calls to me. We do have a Mega Mewtwo. This is from Breakthrough, and this one's up over 100% in the past 3 months. 107%. You could see there was a lot of sales here. Same time, February 12th through 14th, 7 items being sold, only 9 currently available on the Mega Mewtwo, going from a $30 card to a $70 card just in the past 3 months. Now, this one is that one where obviously you can see much bigger, more prominent than the Mega Gengar. He's featured fully. I just don't like this. There's another Mega Mewtwo that we're gonna see later that I think looks much cooler. I just don't particularly like this version of how they drew him on here. But once again, love the text coming across. I think it's super cool. So I like the style a lot. I just maybe I'm a little pickier. Do you guys agree? Like, let me know in the comments like how you guys feel about some of these megas. But this card is up 185% on the year. A year ago, it looks like the low was around $25. So a lot of these megas getting more attention, right? And these are obviously popular Pokemon, Pikachu, Gengar, Mewtwo, stuff like that. So the Pokemon themselves very popular. So not really surprising to see this. So a lot of megas, we're probably going to continue to see this as a trend moving forward. Some of these cards moving up in value. Some of the ones that maybe kind of got buried, we'll see some other Pokemon coming up as well. But yeah, so Mega Mewtwo, if you guys like this one, let me know once again in the comments. It's just not my particular cup of tea. Now this guy, okay, so this one is like I was pulling through it, Phantom Forces again, right? It's not a Mega, but this one just caught my eye. This is one that I have to. This is like I have to have this card, and it's very affordable right now. Even though it's shot up, it's only up 28%, and it's come down a little bit recently, right? You can see on the 1 month chart, it's actually down 3%, and it was at $32. Now we're seeing down around 27. There's more supply on this card, right? It's only an ultra rare. But this card, something about this Gengar, it's similar styling to the other ones, but it's just a regular Gengar. You can see like almost all of him on here. This card just pops to me, and this is one that I'm definitely going to be picking up. Probably raw. I don't know if I'm going to pick up a graded copy, but just absolutely stunning on this Gengar. I don't know why. Maybe once again, let me know if I'm like just off my rocker with this Gengar. This is number 34 from Phantom Forces if you're interested in checking it out. But just this one just really caught my eye. I like how he's like outlined. So he really pops in the colors and everything. Yeah. So this one, it's up 134% on the year. This was a $10 card a year ago, which is crazy because I think this is an absolutely stunning card. So this is one, the Gengar that really stood out to me and really called to me. Not that I don't like the other ones, but this one, I don't know, everything. It's just like giving me brain tingles. It just hitting me with the dopamine. So yeah, I like that card a lot. Then there are like this is a card that like I'm not a Manectric fan per se, but Mega Manectric from Phantom Forces. But the reason I bring this card up, and it's not a massive, I just wanted to talk about it, is I think that color wise and just how they art style so you got the text and the color and how it pops, it started to get me, and on top of the other cards that we've already talked about, right? It's starting to get me pretty excited for the megas. I was never like the biggest mega fan, if I'm being fully honest, but I want to see what they do art style with the megas moving forward. I think the new ones are going to be absolutely insane. So that is something actually I'm really excited about. So this one's up 13%, so it is showing some growth. Not even a ton of copies available, not a ton of copies sell of this card, right? Not particularly very popular, but this is just one that I can see what they were doing back here, and it's like just gets me excited for the future. It's up 31% on the year, so still some solid growth percentage wise, but absolutely excited for this one. Or not for this one, sorry, like I said, for this style to be coming back. Then we have to talk about, this is an interesting, this is the ultra rare from Sun and Moon, and this one's up pretty massive, 74% in the past 3 months. Now, this is like the same as the secret rare rainbow, but you can see the secret rare rainbow's only $160 versus the ultra rare. Excuse me, rather tongue tied this morning. This one's you can see most recent sale. They got market at 160, so you comparatively market like 166, 160, but no, most recent sales on this one 275, 250, 255, 250, 250. So this one's shooting up very massively, and that was a little bit of a surprise. I think, I'm not the biggest rainbow fan, but between the two, I think I'd rather take the rainbow, and it's a lot more affordable. But this one's shooting up pretty big, and in the past year, the chart is not working properly. So we do not have this information. But yeah, 74% in the past 3 months. Sometimes the charts don't update on TCG Player like they should. But that's what we're seeing from the rainbow. Yeah, I would prefer the rainbow, and the rainbow's still up. It's up 58% on the year. But this is just an absolutely massive spike on the full art version, which I just found to be surprising. But obviously, this is a very Gengar heavy list, and rightfully so, because Gengar is a very cool Pokemon. So we have that, and then I did think that this one obviously was worth talking about again because it's continuing to climb. Now this is from Team Up, Sun and Moon Team Up, and I like this one a lot as well with the Mimikyu. Super cool. I like this art style a lot. Again, once again, you have the iconic. You got the yellow corners. It's just a very iconic design for the era. So it stands out. You know where it's from, pretty easily right off the bat. And this one's super cool. I like this one a lot. He's blocked a little bit by the text here, but still, it's just yeah, this is a top tier card. It's up 38% in the past 3 months, going from 88 up to 120. And on the 1 year, we can see, there was a big spike back here back in June. It went from 50 to 110, came back down to 50 again, and now we're seeing it surpass this old previous high back in June, over 120. Let's see, lowest listed right now if we want to pick up an English copy is actually a little bit more affordable. We're at like 105, 110 right here from a few sellers, which would be a little bit below current market price on this card. And then we do have to talk about our boy Charizard here for a minute, because there are some really nice megas of Charizard, and this is one that, albeit once again, want to see a little bit more of the actual Pokemon on here is what I would like to see. But this is from Flashfire, and obviously with the blue flames coming around the whole card, absolutely stunning. You got the text flying again. Once again, I love it, right? I want to see a little bit more, personally, but this is a relevant card because while it's up 37%, and that's why we're talking about it a little bit, going from 118 up into the 160s, only 8 copies currently listed, and then obviously a lot of sales. The 26th through 28th of February is when we see a lot of sales. So around $160 on this one, and 77% on the year. It was steadily climbing a year ago from being around 93 and just chugging up to in the hundreds into the 120s, and then beginning of this year seeing the massive growth. But the reason I bring this up is actually related to some news that we didn't talk about when it dropped. It's been about a week. We did get a new trademark for the TCG Inferno X, which is going to come. This is the text. Inferno X is what this says. And this is coming. This is going to be part of the new era, the Mega Evolution block that's coming in August. You can see Mega Evolution in August, Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, which are going to feature Lucario and Gardevoir. So this one's going to come after that, we think. So we could see this. PokeBeach is theorizing October or November based on the current release schedule. Sometimes trademarks are revealed out of order, however. So we could see this before, we could see this after the other sets featuring these Pokemon. So, it looks like we should be getting a designated Charizard set with Megas. So that's very exciting, I think, as well. We'll see how that one performs. And then off of that, so we had this card, and I was looking at Flashfire. So then I had to pick up this card, or pick out this card to talk about. It's not really up as big, but it is up. And this is just another... as a full art that just kind of caught my attention as just, some of these, when they do these like this 3D style, sometimes it's like hit or miss with me personally as a collector. But this is one that I was like, oh man, this is kind of a cool one. I really like this card, the pose and everything, I think. This one's only up 20%, and 19.9%. Nothing crazy, but it is a more expensive card that you maybe have not heard of, from the XY era. So I just thought it deserved a little bit of attention just to be talked about. You can see obviously not many sales happen per month here, and you can see there was a few that happened in early January, up 20%. If we zoom out right here, we can see obviously pretty good growth though on the year, 66%, $100 back here up to 178. And lowest listed currently is much higher. We're seeing 205 being the lowest listed right here, all in the 200 plus range. It is a nice looking card, right? So I just wanted to bring that some attention. And then the most recent sales actually 230, 160, 250, 160, and then before that all kind of around 150, 160 range ish. But another nice looking card. And then we have to jump back over to Mewtwo for a second. Now, this was the Mega Mewtwo that I liked more than that one we talked about earlier. I just thought he looks a lot better looking, much better pose, text flying across, color scheme looking good. Once again, not the best scan on here, unfortunately, on TCG Player, but you can see, you can get a vibe for what we're looking at right here. Number 159, if you want to look it up. But yeah, this one I think is super cool. And this one's up 72%. This is from Breakthrough, another nice mega. So this, once again, like you see just like what they're doing with the colors here. And I'm taking this like my excitement comes from a point of like seeing what they've done this era, like Scarlet and Violet era, with illustration rares, special illustration rares, just like how good everything has gotten art wise, and that's just what gets me really excited. So this one, yeah, I can't wait to see. I really can't wait to see what they do. Up 72%, going from 44 up to 76, and then pretty solid growth on the year, like everything else. It seems like 52%. A year ago, this was a $30 card, and it was just slowly rising, like just not very much, just in the 30s until kind of the end of last year, and then beginning of this year started to see pretty massive growth, obviously with the mega attention, right? So a lot of mega attention. We're going to see this continue to play out until those sets release, especially once we start to see what those sets are actually going to look like. And then the last card on the list, we do have a little bit of a little news after this, but I wanted to touch on this card. This was just another breakthrough card that I just thought was super cool, right? We don't always get to talk about these older eras as much, and I just thought this one was cool, right? And it is up 30%, right? So the gold border, oh man, it's just a nice looking Mewtwo card. 30% up. I wanted to just give it some time in the limelight. From $52 up to around 70, and then if we look at the 1 year, obviously it's up almost 60%. It was just doing a little steady climb up into the 50s, and then in January and February and March is when it started to see most of its growth. So a lot of the growth happening recently. Only one listing on TCG Player right now for this guy. Looks like a CGC 9 listed for 170, so that would be well above current market. So we'll see where this one ends up. Obviously, low supply on TCG Player. Probably have a better shot on eBay for some of these older cards, I would suspect. And then to end it off, we have to talk about this. So this is a Chinese exclusive Arcanine card that is absolutely stunning. So the Chinese cards, they got some really cool exclusive. We've talked about them in the past. Some of those 151 absolutely stunning, and this is another one where they're continuing the trend. And I think unfortunately it's looking like, unless we get something later, but they've really held strong to like those are staying as the Chinese exclusives, and this is another one. PokeBeach in this article also theorizing that it's probably going to stay a Chinese exclusive, as they continue to catch up to where we're at. So they put like multiple sets into one. So this is like Scarlet and Violet through their, I think, Obsidian Flames kind of like rolled into one. I think is kind of how they've been doing it. But I just wanted to talk about this card because absolutely stunning. Beautiful, man. Wish we were getting some of those artworks, but you can pick them up. They end up being more expensive, obviously on eBay and stuff. But you can pick them up. We had like that Captain Pikachu and all that other like the 151 stuff. So you can pick them up. You're just not getting them on the English side, and it's a little unfortunate, but also it's still cool. I think it's probably good to maybe keep them Chinese exclusives, right? It's a thing that they have on that side, and maybe they should do more of that, like different language, a bit more different language exclusives. People would collect and diversify a little bit more, especially when they get really cool art like this. But I am jealous. I wish this would just come to the English side. So let me know what you guys think about this card. I think this is absolutely stunning. I wish, honestly, I probably should have put this more towards the beginning of the video because, not everyone makes it all the way to the end of a 20-minute video. And if you're listening to this and not watching, pull it up for a second. Let's pull it up, see the actual video, because this is an absolutely stunning card, and I think it deserves some time in the limelight. So, that's what a lot of this video was obviously we were talking about cards that have gone up, right? And there's been a lot that haven't gone up lately. There's been a lot of decline and stuff lately. It's not always about cards going up, right? But it's exciting when you see cards going up. It can be both, right? It could be like, okay, well, I wanted to get that card, but now it's expensive, right? So that's the downside. But when we see cards shooting up, it brings attention, right? So I think that that's fun, and I think you guys might be able to tell just kind of in my voice, I'm kind of really excited about all of these cards. I'm excited about megas. I'm still excited about the future, right? Even though things are looking grim right now, products hard to get. We're fighting every day. We're fighting bots and scalpers and all of this stuff, right? There's drama to be had and prices going up and then stuff going down and everything, right? But at the end of the day, it's still a great time to be collecting and appreciating these artworks and stuff that we're getting from even the older eras. The older eras are killing it. Because I wasn't collecting really during Sun and Moon and XY too much. I came back more recently during like COVID time. And so, I missed out on these sets as well. And it's so cool to go back and just like see and appreciate some of these cards. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. There should be a giveaway video popping up right here. If you haven't entered, click on this video. It tells you exactly how to enter. So you guys can it's our biggest giveaway we've ever done. It's just a thank you to give back to the community. But that's all I have for this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.